Welcome back to another episode of Double Vision. Today we're going to be answering some questions from an art exhibition that we've been doing at the Cornerstone, which is called So What Can You Actually See? Where we left a table with a book on it called the Journal of Questions. So members of the public have been able to write in the book a question for us where we will answer them as honest as possible. But before we start with that...
Inside voice, please.
Sorry, we are in a library. Nathan has a joke to tell us.
I've heard lots of reports of it raining coins recently. It must be climate change.
Ooh. And also, before we start with the Journal of Questions, I'd like to introduce myself, Dev, Nathan. We have Miranda back for a third episode.
Say hi.
Hello.
And
hi, everyone.
the person that puts this all together, the face for radio, we have George.
So mean.
Hello.
So George is going to give us some questions.
Right, first question. How do you know when to cross the road?
Is that...
Who wants to start?
Was that like the chicken question?
To get to the other side?
Yeah.
Wait. Well, a number of ways. So, normally I'll use a crossing. So I'll be pretty confident a zebra crossing people are going to stop, or I'll use a button one and it will be beeping, or the triangle underneath will be spinning. Aside from that, I kind of just have to take a judgment call, listen out for cars and hope for the best, I guess.
I think we just take away what we learned at school, which was stop, look and listen. Instead,
Stop,
we
look,
just
listen, live.
just have stop, listen, run.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's usually just, I obviously with electric cars these days, it's quite difficult, but I literally will just stop and I think when the coast is clear, just make sure your cane or your guide dog are visible when crossing, because then they are a bit more aware.
I try really hard to make myself visible. I also try really hard to cross roads at not busy
junctions
and intersections. Yeah. I was also taught by guide dogs how to, at certain crossings, there's a particularly bad one outside of our office, how to read the traffic flow so that you can cross when the traffic's definitely not coming because there's a red light. So,
also, they do teach you as well to indent. So instead of crossing at the longest part of the road, you go down where it's a bit more quieter, as that would be much easier to do.
Or sometimes what I do is I just cross and make sure that someone I'm with or someone else is downstream from me. So if we're gonna get hit, I'll hear them getting hit first.
Yeah, I can answer Nathan as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, well, another thing that I'll sometimes do is if there's a herd of sighted people all crossing at the same time, I'll kind of go with the flow of traffic. 30 to 50 feral sighted people. I'll just cross with them.
Follow the crowd.
What?
Exactly.
You actually didn't know that they're all visually impaired. Just one person at the front.
Yeah,
The
There
literal-
was actually a visually impaired conference that day, and
The blinds leading the blinds, literally.
There were no survivors.
that would be an interesting sort of news bulletin, though, right? 50 visually impaired people squashed by the same car.
That driver would feel so bad. They're just a vehicular maniac.
So to interject, right, because there we've come up with, we need the collective noun for a group of visually impaired people. What is it?
I like the herd. That was
I like
the herd.
I think it's called an accident.
An accident waiting to
People were
happen.
knocked down by a truck.
No. But one question regarding crossing the road that I get quite frequently about Grover, my guide dog, is how does he know when to cross the road? And the answer is that he doesn't. It is not his responsibility to decide when it's time to cross the road. I listen for the flow of traffic and I decide when I think it's safe to cross. And then he double checks my work, and it's his job to intelligently disobey and refuse to go forward if he thinks that it's not safe. So we got two brains working at the same time
This is a weird
to
experience
decide.
when you're training, because
Yes.
when we did that, you had to actually walk in front of the car without actually walking in front of the car. You tell the dog to go and pray that they're not going to walk out when the car's coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's when guide dogs are in the car. So the guide dog trainer gets in the car, not just some randomer that you're going to be oh, let's walk in front of his car.
Yeah, that's a scary day in training class for sure. They had us
Definitely.
practice with shopping carts first,
Yes.
where we would be walking along and then the trainer would come by with a shopping cart to simulate an intersection.
We just went straight to live roads.
Yeah.
It was like dodgeball.
Yeah.
Oh
You can dodge
no!
traffic. Yeah.
Right, next question, George.
So that brings us on nicely to the second one we've been asked. How do you get a guide dog?
You asked very nicely.
Well, first you acquire a visual impairment because sometimes
Or
people,
volunteer.
well, yeah, exactly.
You apply through, in the UK, you go to, the main charity is Guide Dogs UK, or I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what they're called. You can go onto their website, you can put an application in, you need relative proof like a certificate of visual impairment, and say what difference that dog would make to your life, and then
They come
kind
round
of
and do an assessment
they
to
come and
see-
assess
And you
you.
have to be you need a minimum of 3 routes that you can walk, and they've got to be
Yeah.
up to a mile long or 40
Yeah,
minutes.
you
so
have to be
you're
able to go
actually-
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're only going out once a week or something, a guide dog's not really going to get any benefit from that.
Exactly. And I think crucially, you have to be able to use a white cane as well, because
Yeah.
if the dog gets ill or injured, you need to be not housebound.
Yeah.
So you have to prove that you are like sufficiently able to get around with a white cane for
Well,
in case of emergency.
prime example is the heat wave we've had. You can't walk a
Exactly.
guide dog 25 degrees or
Yeah.
over. So if you can't work the guide dog in that heat, how would you get about if you don't know?
Yeah.
You can't use a cane.
Yeah, or you just
So-
don't go out either.
Great question, though.
Yeah.
Thank you, George. That was fantastic.
Well, I didn't ask them, but
The questions. You put it so amazingly.
okay. What's one thing you wish sighted people knew about sight loss?
One thing that you wish sighted people knew about sight
I
loss.
find that hard to get down to one thing. I'm going to go for the sight loss is a spectrum.
Yeah.
The white cane doesn't tell you how much vision I have. It just tells you that I've got challenges with my vision. So, yeah, I want them to know sometimes when someone gets out of my way and I look at them and thank them, that's because I can see them. I just might not be able to see very much of them.
Yeah.
I would say the same in terms of when a person that's visually impaired, if they walk up with a cane or a guide dog and then they get their phone out and they look at their phone, they might have a headphone in, or they might be using voiceover, or they might actually still have a little bit of vision, but they've enlarged it or adapted their phone to them. So I want sighted people to sort of know that just because you're using a phone doesn't mean that you can still see it. They might have adapted it to make it more accessible for them, because usually people are in shock. They're like, well, you're blind. How are you using a phone?
Yeah.
But they not actually looked at the screen, or they might have a headphone in.
I found that on the bus this morning. No one said anything, but I still look at my phone even though it's just a blur to me. I have a voiceover and a headphone in, but I still look at my phone because otherwise I find myself blankly staring and people just think I'm staring at them. So like I do look at my phone, but that looks weird when I had like my cane out.
Another one I would say as well is when you see a visually impaired person approaching you very slowly, they're usually trying to work out what is in front of them. So sometimes maybe just letting them know that you're there is quite a useful tip, because the amount of times you're on a bus or a train and you're walking towards a seat that you think's empty, but there's someone actually sat there.
Dude.
And they won't say anything. So by the time you're in a mid-squat position and then you feel like a hand's like pushing you or something, then you're like, oh, actually there is someone there.
Yeah.
Why do so many of your stories involve someone squatting or bending over? Yeah, Miranda, go for it.
Just a flashback like 30 minutes earlier, and it's Deb telling the story about the the poo bag.
I did want to become Magic Mike. I want to get in that show, so
Oh
the
man.
more I say it.
No, I've
Delicious.
I've accidentally given lap dances on the bus as well before, where I've like, Grover has found a chair for me that I've asked him find a chair. He's found the chair, and then the chair's already occupied, and I don't discover it until I'm like halfway through sat
And you're
down.
singing and all sorts.
It's because you didn't specify an empty chair.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
He-
it's just like the bin story, isn't it? Like, I've asked for the bin. Max thought it's
Yeah.
actually someone's bottom. We don't know what they're. Both begin with a B, so yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Next question, George. Ian.
All right, this is a slightly different one. How do you know when to stop wiping?
Dude, we get that so much. I get that. Kids love to ask this question.
Oh, you'd be perfect for the answer then, right?
Yeah, well, I work with kids, so I get this question a lot. Honestly, like this decided people need to look at the paper to know when it's clean. Like, do you pull it out and look at it? I feel like everyone does it by feel, right?
Yeah.
And when in doubt, you just keep going, right? When in doubt, you
Till
just
it's
keep
red
wiping.
raw.
You smell blood. My answer to that question is always, what's wiping?
No, Nathan!
Hey, if they're going to
There's
ask
the
inappropriate
truth.
questions, I'm going to give you an appropriate
That's
answer.
There's the truth.
Nah. You work it out.
It's kind
That's
of,
it.
it's-
The alternative is worse than working it out.
I feel like there's, like, when you talk about the toilet, there's so many different things. It's kind of like, I didn't know that people with a bit of toilet roll, some people, when they wipe, screw it up, but some will fold it. I didn't know that that's a thing. I'm a screwer. What are you?
It's wild to me that anyone
Screw
would
you.
hold it.
Yeah.
So you're a screwer. You're a screwer,
I'm
are you?
apparently I don't feel like I can't say that on the air.
You just admitted you lap dance. So.
To be fair, Dev, in
Even
the
though
previous
it-
episode,
yeah.
you said you were Magic Mike on the bus.
Yeah.
Pole
Yeah.
It's
dancing.
a lot.
This episode is rated 18 for mature.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
double vision is slowly meaning a lot more things. So
Okay, let's PG it up with the next one. Do people treat you the way you'd like to be treated as a visually impaired person?
That is a fantastic question. I'm gonna say most of the time, and that includes the people around me. Is I'd like to be treated like my vision impairment is a consideration, but not the only consideration. And I'm quite annoying because sometimes I'm like, you can just forget I'm visually impaired. I got this, and then they forget, and I'm like, oh, I walked into something, or you left a chair hanging out, or something.
or they
I'm
try
like-
to pass you something.
or
and you're
they
like, oh,
or they move something. I'm like, I like that it's not the only thing they think of me because it does not define me, but sometimes it kind of does.
Yeah. I feel like that's the thing is people often, I feel like, treat me with kid gloves where they see the cane or the guide dog or the sunglasses or whatever and they think, oh, this person is hopeless and helpless. Nathan's voiceover has just done a cameo. But yeah, I feel like people sometimes look at me and they think that I'm just hopeless and helpless and they they need to rush in and protect me, and that can feel quite kind of dehumanizing, or like they're treating me like a child or something. So I would like for people to, instead of assuming my needs, meet me and speak to me and ask me how I would like to be supported. And then form a human connection with me the same way that you would with anyone else, instead of just assuming this person is a lost cause and I need to protect them from all harm always.
Sometimes obviously it's how they approach it in a situation. Sometimes not babying you, but when they're trying to give you that extra information. For example, when I've got off a bus, the bus driver's just said, "Oh, just to let you know, the traffic lights are ahead if you're going to that office or something." So I could see where they're trying to be helpful. I find sometimes it's when you're with someone sighted and you're stood at a till and they talk to the other person.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, would they like a bag, or how are they going to pay today?
How
And
do
you're
you
like,
know I'm non-binary?
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those situations where they talk around you.
Yeah,
It's
especially
even
in
with dogs,
restaurants as well.
Yeah.
For some reason, because I can't read the menu, they assume I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like we've already done the research before we've gone in there to be like, okay, I'm going to go through all the starters, mains, and puddings. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just have all of them.
one of everything.
Yeah.
The other one that interests me, in that situation, is when you just walked in with a guide dog or a cane and something, and they put a menu out in front of you, and I'd love to know what their thought process is. They might be able to access it, or they've just completely forgotten, or they just feel super awkward and give you one because it's the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
I prefer to be given it because at least then I can try if I want.
One time at a restaurant in America, a waiter saw that I was visually impaired. I had my cane at the time, and they put a menu down in front of me, and then they said, "Oh wait, no," and they took it away, and they went in the back.
That's worse.
Well, they went in the back and they came back with a braille menu.
Yeah.
And they said, I had to rummage through a cupboard for this. No one has ever used it before. I'm so excited that I get to give it to
And then
someone.
you're 10 years old.
I
and
know.
And then did you say, I can't read Braille?
I felt so bad. I pretended to be able to read braille.
Wow.
You just said like, I will go for water, thank you.
Exactly. Oh no. Well, I have been there before, so I just got the regular, but I did make a show of like pretending for their benefit.
I'll just say one more thing as well, is when they try and normalize a conversation but make it less normal. So it's like if you're watching they would say, oh, have you been watching Netflix? Oh, I mean listening to Netflix. And you're like, okay. Or have you read a book? Oh, I'm sorry, listening to a book. And you kind of like, can we just say the word? Even if I can't do it, it's not making it normal. This
I still
conversation
use
now.
that word. I
That
still
word.
say I've read
Yeah.
I've read this book. I don't say I've
watched
listened
this.
to it.
Have you
Or
seen
like
this?
see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
sometimes get weird about see you tomorrow or
Yeah.
see you later.
Yeah.
I'll listen to you tomorrow. Just it doesn't seem
Or
normal
if
to
it's
say
you,
that.
it's probably I'll smell you tomorrow.
I'll be on the bus tomorrow where I will be dancing. Yeah.
I will feel your presence.
You'll be back. I've seen the tip you just gave me.
No, you haven't seen the tip. You've listened to the tip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well that actually brings us on nicely again to the next one. If you could pick a sense to swap with your lack of sight, what would it be?
To swap.
Yeah, so if you could lose another sense and get your sight back, which sense would you lose?
Oh, they're all quite difficult because if I lost smell, then there's so many. I would say taste. The ability to not taste vegetables would be fantastic. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But if-
So you want some sight back, but some taste in
I want
there.
I want
Yeah, can we do
50-50.
half and half.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like taste is the only right option because so much of taste is smell. So as long
Yeah.
as you can still smell and do texture, I feel like you can get most of the way with food. Although maybe someone who's lost their sense of taste, like from COVID, will be all upset about this.
It'd be
I don't
really
know.
weird though. You like smell margarita pizza and then you're eating like an apple.
Oh,
It would really throw you.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
but
that's
you
so
might
strange.
eat a lot healthier.
that's true.
Yeah.
Like
It
if
would
you're
be
like
an interesting experience
yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
What would you choose then, Nathan?
That's a really tough question because I've kind of just made my peace with vision loss.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really appreciate my other senses, and they're all pretty useful.
Are they heightened? You have a sense.
I'm paying more attention to them is the way I
Yeah.
think it works.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't think my hearing's any better. My hearing's actually pretty bad from a cliff diving injury, but
I was going to make that joke. That's the
Yeah.
joke for the episode.
That took me a second there.
get out.
From a cliff diving injury, there must be a story to that.
Jumped off a cliff, burst my eardrum, it got infected, had to be operated on. It doesn't work quite right.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
a short story of it.
that's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
You meant to have a parachute.
No, it wasn't that high a cliff. The funny thing was, this was all before I'd lost very much vision, and I had to have a cast removed from my wrist from a different injury in a different sport, so that I could have the operation on my ear because they didn't want me to get a blood clot. So
geez.
it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a tough year. I think, yeah, it would have to be taste. I think that's the one I probably appreciate the least, so that one can go. Yeah. But I don't really care about getting my vision back, so I'll just keep it as is, please.
I'm kind of the same. Like, I'm doing fine the way I am. I don't, like, massively need a cure, especially at the...
You don't get taste dogs.
No! Well, maybe Grover thinks he's a taste dog the way he went for your sandwich.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Dad?
No, I'd just say like the dog would just say I recommend
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah, and all that.
Like the taster to the king.
Yeah. You know, like when they come
This
over
tastes
with a
rough.
bottle of wine, they're like, this one tastes lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen her taste things. I don't think I'd trust her on that one. She just tried to eat her own vomit.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Any more questions, George?
Yeah, last one.
Cool.
Is social life impacted dramatically? If so, what areas of social life?
I would say nightlife immediately. When you're out in a nightclub or something and the music's going and you've got no sight and you think you're stood next to your friends, and you're like, oh, should we go get a drink? And you hear someone else's voice, you think, hang on, who are you? Like, who's this
They
random?
never buy you the drink either.
No. Or when you're talking and they've already walked off. That's always a fun one.
I love. You can tell you're over 30 because you called it night clubbing.
I knew as soon as I said nightclub, I thought, oh, great.
Nathan's gonna catch you on that.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, I end up hanging out with a load of other visually impaired people,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. Like, it's done really great for my mental health is to know other people are like that. But yeah, in terms of my social life around, like, my friendship groups and stuff, it's tough. Like, you don't necessarily always know when they're talking to you. My friends have all known me since before vision loss. Well, a lot of them have, and they'll just, quite happily just walk off because that's what they used to do. Yeah. And sometimes you find yourself just keeping up with them, which is tough.
Do you ever pretend that you're sighted? I always pretend I'm sighted. When it's like friends that have known me since I've lost my sight or before, I will, like, we'll sit down for dinner or something, and I will pick up the menu and actively pretend that I'm looking, and then be like, so what are you getting? And they'll say that, and I'm like, yes, I was thinking the exact same. Thank you.
And then you order broccoli and carrots, even though you hate them.
Yeah. Or like when the waiter comes over or something, and they try and hand you it, and like for me, I just usually think, just keep your hands down there, put it in front of you. But when I'm with my sighted friends, I actively try and pretend I'm sighted, so I'll like go to grab the fork or whatever and be like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's like being magic. You've magically got more vision that doesn't work. Yeah,
but it's unusual because when I'm with people that have less sight than me, I become more sighted. So I'm there like telling them where we're walking and getting them to hold on to me. But then when I'm with people that are sighted, I'm the most visually impaired person, obviously. So I'm there like holding on to them or whatever. It's interesting how they swap.
I have definitely guided people with no vision, even though I've only got a little bit more than no vision.
Too.
But you're the most sighted person there.
Yeah.
I find I don't pretend so much like that I can read a menu or something, but I will do things like I won't ask someone to guide me in certain friendship groups and stuff, even though I need to.
It can be awkward to ask someone if you're not at that level of friendship, because it's such a it can feel very intimate to like hold someone's arm, because you're just your body is closer to them than it usually is.
Yeah.
So that can feel awkward for sure. There are certain friends that I feel safe with asking for sighted guide, and there are other friends where it just feels like, no, this isn't appropriate. This feels transgressive.
So how does it work if you've just met someone? I don't mind that one so much because I just define it as part of the relationship. I'm like, I know we're new friends, but I need a guide. Can you help? I don't care about that. It's more like someone I've been friends with for 25 years who's never guided me before. I'm like, I don't think I've ever touched your arm.
I even have
at least not in that way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I even have certain family members who I wouldn't feel comfortable asking them to guide me because it's just like not something that I've ever done, and my vision has degenerated. I've been diagnosed for 16 years now, and it's gotten steadily worse over that time. So it's interesting how people that you know from different stages of that friendship or that relationship, whatever it is, kind of their perception of your remaining vision is almost like immutably where it was when you first met them.
I would imagine for you as well, because you moved here from the US, like people haven't seen it change, so they kind of assume your vision. The same as we assume that other people's vision stayed the same.
Yeah.
Like
when I go home, I'm like way blinder than I was when I left. It's disorienting for my family for sure.
I find when I'm in a sort of like if we're getting pictures with a group of visually impaired people, I don't mind it. But when I'm with people that are sighted, the one thing I get really worked up about is where I'm looking. Yeah. Because I hate it where if there's a group of us that are sort of getting a picture together and they're all looking at the camera and I'm looking to the right or the left, I'm like, please get rid of me in that picture. So I will actively say to my friends, like, can you shout where you are? Or put the flash on, because those are the ways that I would be able to do it. But if they don't do that, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be in this picture. Or I will put my like darkest sunglasses on and look where I think they are, because at least my head will be there, but my eyes might be looking somewhere totally different. So
sunglasses are a life hack for sure. Although I have actually been asked to step out of a group photo before because my sunglasses were unsightly. So that's another thing. Like, that's horribly ableist, obviously. It was when I was a child, and I didn't know any better, so I did it. But, like, that's another thing, is sometimes people, if that group of people is ableist or
Yeah.
like is not comfortable with your visual impairment, they can kind of put shame onto you in the same way that people can alleviate it if they're actually chill and fine with it.
I must find when I do photos, like I put my cane out of the way, like I
Oh.
hide
Hide,
it away.
yeah, okay,
but when
yeah.
I had the dog, she was always pride of place.
Pride of
like
Yeah, that's interesting.
I was like, it's mostly because if I don't need it, I don't see it as being relevant.
Yeah.
But if I needed it in the photo for some reason, it would be in it. But
I'll give a
I
great
always like put it
example
behind
of
my
where
back or
I
something.
find like you still like another one where I pretend to be sighted, even if I explain I can't see, is when I'm at the barber's. You'll get a haircut and they put the mirror behind you, and you'll
Or
look.
the dentist as well.
Yeah.
They do the same thing.
But
they put a
like,
mirror
they
behind
hold-
your head in the
They
dentist.
hold, yeah, I was going to say that's a new one. But they hold the
Inside
mirror,
your head.
and I feel like they're stood on the left, and I'm looking on the right. So good job, and they go and switch, and then you're like, yeah, good job, good job. But the amount of times, like you walk,
They
in
could have
with a-
written a swear word in the back of your head, and you wouldn't
You
have known.
walked
Yeah.
in with the cane, you've sat down, all of that, and you think, okay, so when they hold the mirror up, like, what am I doing with this information now? So, but
Yeah.
you still just go, yeah, that's great, thanks. And also, I hate it in the barbers because they move your head about, and you're there like a joystick, just moving around.
And you
you're
don't
just-
know when they're going to move
No.
it, and you don't know how either.
And
yeah.
again, when
It's
you
so stressful.
they spray you with the aftershave now, or
Well,
you're
you go
just-
to a nice barber.
yeah, Turkish barber. I'll give you the details. But they spray you, but you don't expect them to come, so they like, and you're like, whoa, flinch.
You're like,
So
my
is that-
eyes!
Yeah, it's that sort
It's
of
like water torture.
in that social side of it, like from a different perspective of when you're actually, going to these places and trying to be normal. And,
Or the other one, when you try to explain the haircut that you want
Yeah.
without being able to say it looks like, or something like that. You're going to try and describe it without having a visual reference. in
See,
some
I
way.
always just ask the. Oh, sorry, George.
I was going to say I always tell exactly how much I want off the top. Like I'll say
in millimeter
like,
terms.
Well, no, like down to my fringe, because then
Yeah.
when they go, is this about okay? I'm like, yeah.
do you get your
Yeah.
ruler out? And you're like, no, just a 0.1 off that as well.
Like, but it's a very classically British thing to not say when
Agreed.
when they're done. They're like, "Is this look good?" No one ever goes, "No, try harder," do
No.
they? Like you wouldn't do it even if you could see. Like
then
no
they
one's
just
ever
walk-
seen the mirror and gone, "What have you done to me?" Like it just doesn't. Yeah.
You go to another barber's or another hairdresser's like down the road a week later, like I can't believe what they've done. And the worst thing is sometimes you get your hair cut. Like I've gone back and my mum's like, "Wow, what do they do to that?" And you're like, "Oh gosh, this doesn't help for my confidence."
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least they'll be honest with you. So
I always prefer if someone is honest about if like I look bad, like if I have lint on my clothes or like food on my face or whatever. I always prefer for someone to tell me because sometimes they just won't, and then I'll go about for hours and hours and not know.
I am super glad to know that. I have so much to say. No, I'm joking.
yeah, that's
I'm joking. You're doing great.
Session.
We should do that for the next one.
When you're out and having a meal with like a group of sighted people and you've ordered something and you think, oh no, I've got to use a knife and fork, and it's like that last bit and you're there trying to put it on, and you know when you think you've got it on the fork and you go to put it in your mouth and like,
Yeah.
oh, there's nothing there. So
I
you
just
do it.
use my hands. I
Yeah.
just do it.
Oh,
I
you just
own
shovel it eventually. Oops,
I
sorry.
just own it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what bread is for. You get bread with your meal, and then you use that to like find the last little piece. Because bread you can do with your hands.
If
So-
you've still got bread left.
What
Yeah, exactly.
what we're learning in this situation is Miranda likes to chuck food on her face and Nathan will just shovel it in.
Yeah.
So George is
And
just
no
does
one will tell her.
that, and I'll just eat
Yeah.
normally. There you
Yeah.
go. Cool.
Brilliant.
Great
Well,
questions.
Yeah, please keep sending questions in if you want to add them into the chat, into
And
the
please
messages.
answer
or
any of the
anything.
questions that we had today. Please write up below what you have as an answer for those. And like, share, subscribe. But from us, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.